On the eve of the surgery, my fiancé suddenly gave the kidney source to Lila, his childhood friend. My friends were puzzled. Just because Lila's mother is suspected of having kidney problems, you gave away Arya's mother's kidney source? Arya is your fiancé. Aren't you afraid she'll get angry and call off the wedding? That kidney source was what she went through so much trouble to get. My fiancé, Caleb, replied casually. It's okay. Arya loves me to death. She even broke her leg for me. She won't mind such a small thing. Besides, she cares so much about her mom. She'll definitely switch to another hospital immediately when she finds out the kidney source is gone. I listened behind the door for a long time, not uttering a word, and left in tears. That night, the night of the surgery, my fiancé anxiously called me. Arya, why haven't you arrived yet? There's a problem with the kidney source you found. At that moment, my mother's surgery had just been successful. I replied. How could there be? The doctor said there's no rejection. This kidney source from abroad was something I begged for. It had great significance for both me and Caleb. Unexpectedly, because of one sentence from Lila, Caleb actually gave it away. My face was covered in tears, and my breath trembled. Our mutual friend, Max, asked in confusion. The kidney source is a matter of Arya's mother's life. You shouldn't have made the decision on your own, right? Caleb said nonchalantly. What's the big deal? There are plenty of kidney sources in the hospital. Arya's family is rich, she can find another one. I still think you disposing of the kidney source at will is disrespectful to Arya. Will she call off the wedding? Caleb suddenly said impatiently. She wouldn't dare to call off the wedding, but if she found out about this early, she would definitely be jealous and make a fuss. What a pain. Arya has liked me since she was a kid, always following me around. What's one kidney source to her? The people around him looked at each other with playful expressions. Oh my, brother Caleb's intentions are obvious. Who can resist Lila, who is fair-skinned and tall? Exactly, back then Caleb and Lila were a golden couple, a perfect match. Upon hearing this, Caleb's face turned gloomy. Enough. Stop chattering about the past. If Arya finds out, she'll make a fuss again. Everyone burst into laughter. Okay, brothers, we won't say anything more. Anyway, you're amazing, being able to make Arya devoted to you. Caleb wanted to say something, but he received a call from Lila. His face immediately softened. Lila. Lila's joyful voice came from the other end of the phone. Brother Caleb, thank you so much. It's been a long time. I didn't think you would help me find a kidney source. It's just a small matter. You don't need to take it to heart. How is it a small matter? A kidney source is worth a fortune, and it takes a lot of connections. Brother Caleb, you're so good to me. I'll definitely dress up and attend your wedding to not embarrass you. Caleb smiled gently. All right, I'll wait for you. After he hung up the phone, everyone teased him. Oh my, dress up and attend, brother Caleb. Who are you marrying after all? Caleb chuckled and said, We've been talking about Arya for so long. Aren't you all tired of her? It's refreshing to have Lila dress up and attend. I stood at the door, my whole body freezing. Caleb was tired of me, but I was working hard for our future. Having money can indeed get a kidney source faster, but mine was the best one. My mother didn't agree with me being with Caleb. After she got sick, I lied and said that Caleb was working day and night to find a kidney source for her. Only then did my mother relax a little. During the days of searching for a kidney source, my leg injury hadn't healed. Caleb accompanied me a few times, but became dissatisfied. Anyway, your dad's secretary is keeping an eye on this. Why do you have to do everything yourself and suffer? Before, I thought he was concerned about my leg, but now I understand that he just doesn't love me. It's 2:30 in the morning, and I'm scrolling through Moments. Max posted pictures of drinking with the caption, Let's party last single night. 9 grid of pictures. I look at them carefully one by one. In the last one, Max is blowing into a beer bottle at the camera, while behind him, Lila, red-faced and dazed, is kissing Caleb. The picture is blurry, but if I didn't know Caleb's chin so well, I might have thought Lila was kissing a male model. I'm so angry my hands are shaking as I scroll through the comments. Max, Caleb's bachelor party, you're singing and dancing. Hey, something's up. Who is Lila kissing in the last picture? Caleb probably saw it too, he replied. Force perspective. Don't spread rumors and make Arya angry. Max, who allowed you to say bachelor party nonsense? It's just a few brothers having a drink. I coldly give it a like. Caleb is still so arrogant, using my deep affection as a bet. Betting I would break my leg for him. Betting I would give up my kidney. Where's your lover? Isn't he with you for something as important as donating a kidney? Hearing this, I smiled faintly. I can manage on my own. Coming out of the hospital, I saw Caleb and Lila sitting by the window in a coffee shop. Lila was affectionately touching Caleb's face. The diamond bracelet on her wrist was the latest model that Caleb had transferred from my luxury account. I smiled sarcastically and turned to go home. Caleb came home half an hour after me and saw me drinking tonic. Are you sick? No, just tonic. Caleb was stunned. Why are you drinking something to nourish your body? It takes 100 days to recover from a broken bone. The doctor told me to take more tonic. Caleb was a little annoyed because my leg was injured for him, but he had neglected me. A client gave me some ginseng last time. I'll find it tomorrow and make chicken soup for you. Hearing this, I looked at him quietly without speaking. Caleb immediately felt that I was being difficult, and said with displeasure, Arya, are you annoying or what? Your leg was broken for me, but I didn't ask you to. So in his eyes, my dedication was just one-sided. Seeing that I was still silent, Caleb roared angrily. Acting like a spoiled young lady again? Arya, can't you be a little understanding, always making such a fuss? Faced with his roar, I said very calmly, you forgot to wipe off the lipstick stain on your cuff. Caleb froze, his expression drastically changing. Are you? I said calmly, Lila's new bracelet is quite nice. Caleb immediately became enraged, pointing at me trembling. Arya, you're really something, you're actually stalking me? Are you serious? Lila came back to the country because her mother is sick. What's wrong with me? An old friend comforting her. Arya, did you have to do something so disgusting to come between us? A series of accusations made me chuckle. My mother is also sick, am I not worthy of comfort? Upon hearing this, Caleb looked as if I had slapped him, his whole body shaking. That's not what I meant, she doesn't have many old friends. Caleb's phone vibrated in his pocket. It was Lila. Caleb hurriedly answered. Caleb G, I accidentally fell while taking a shower, can you come and see me? Lila, don't be scared, I'll be right there. Caleb said this while going to the entryway to change his shoes, then grabbing his car keys and leaving. Without looking at me. Only after walking out 2 steps did Caleb react. Arya, be good, I'll be back in a little while. Also Arya, you should be sensible. Don't be childish and stalk and suspect me randomly. Caleb finished speaking and left, leaving me stunned in place. Childish? Random suspicion? He can actually say that. Caleb, you make it so clear whether you love or not. I was blind and deaf before. The next day, Caleb probably felt guilty and took me to see wedding dresses. In the spacious car, we sat on opposite sides, neither of us speaking. Caleb opened the car's tablet with some annoyance, deliberately playing my favorite foreign songs. I still ignored him. Having the wedding at the beach is a bit cliché. How about choosing a castle? We can rent a castle to get married. Caleb said this, his eyes glancing at me from time to time. I didn't respond. A person who has accumulated enough disappointment won't be moved by casually bestowed affection. Caleb, what do you think of my mother's kidney source? I said this seriously, looking at him seriously as well. Because this was the last opportunity one was giving him for honesty. Seeing that I was willing to talk to him, Caleb relaxed and began to lie without thinking. He said smugly, it's very good. You went to so much trouble to find it, it must be good. Is that all? I asked faintly. Caleb finally seemed a little uncomfortable, his eyes flickering a few times. Turning his head away, he raised his voice. Of course, what else can I say? I can't help with this matter. I nodded with a smile, the last hope in my heart extinguished. Caleb was still acting. He never cared about me nor my family. Even though this matter was about life and death, I will never have expectations of him again, I said softly in my heart. Inside the wedding dress shop, I saw the wedding gown I had drawn in my design sketches had been made. What's more, the model's figure was strikingly similar to mine. I looked at Caleb's expectant gaze, and my heart couldn't help but flutter. At that moment, Lila's voice suddenly appeared behind me. Caleb, how did you know I liked this kind of strapless satin, train wedding dress? My brows furrowed. This was my design. Lila saw me and exaggeratedly covered her mouth, looking a little innocent and a little deliberate. Arya, you're here too. I was just joking. Are you guys here to look at wedding dresses too? The owner of this wedding dress shop is super high-end, and her craftsmanship is amazing. I really like it. I clenched my hand, and resentment couldn't help but rise in my heart. Lila reached out and grabbed a corner of the wedding dress, saying to me, Arya, this kind of satin wedding dress is much more elegant than those lace tulle ones, right? But the veil can't be small. It needs to be floor length to be suitable, right? I avoided her, my expression cold. You choose. I've already picked out my wedding dress. Lila pursed her lips upon hearing this and blinked her eyes. Oh, I'm sorry, Arya. I just got a little chatty when I saw a familiar friend. Please don't be angry, okay? Caleb looked at me and said, Arya, you still need a bridesmaid, right? Lila would be perfect. She's young and unmarried. Don't keep such a long face. Let's talk and chat together. I almost laughed out loud in anger. Since when did Arya need a bridesmaid? Even if I did, I should be the one choosing the candidate, right? Caleb was even willing to give Lila my mother's kidney. What else wouldn't he dare do? Wouldn't he be willing to do? I said mockingly. What's the point of being a bridesmaid? Being the bride is much more interesting, isn't it? The two of them froze upon hearing this, not expecting me to be so direct. A wedding shop employee couldn't help but chuckle, then quickly apologized. Lila's eyes immediately turned red, and she said with grievance, Arya, I really didn't mean to interfere in your relationship. I just wanted to help you choose. I won't bother you. I'll leave right away. Caleb, however, tightly grabbed her hand, his face full of protection. Arya, seriously, can't you be more mature? Lila shook Caleb's hand, whispering, Caleb, don't say that to Arya. We don't want you guys to argue. Caleb seemed to suddenly explode, as if he had had enough, and said coldly, Lila, don't try to persuade me. I'm going to talk to Arya clearly today. Ever since we decided to get married, when have I ever treated you badly? Arya, I know you're a wealthy heiress, but that doesn't mean you can be recklessly capricious and use the broken leg incident to blackmail me. I ignored Caleb for many days, and on the eve of the wedding, Caleb couldn't hold back and called me. Arya, when is your mother's surgery scheduled? I avoided answering. It's all good, everything is ready. Caleb didn't notice and his tone relaxed. That's good, then you can marry me without any distractions. Your mother-in-law will definitely recover. On the wedding day, I wore the wedding dress that my mother had prepared for me a long time ago. Caleb suddenly called. Arya, Lila's mother suddenly had complications and needs surgery. It's very dangerous. I'm afraid Lila can't handle it alone. I have to be with her. Arya, you go to the venue first and keep the guests calm. If you really can't, find a man with a similar build to mine and have him wear a mask to hold the wedding first. The wedding is just a formality, you just need to get the photos taken. I'll be over tonight. I was too lazy to speak and coldly hummed in agreement. Caleb was probably feeling guilty, so his tone was gentle. Okay, my Arya is the most tolerant and understanding. You'll definitely understand me, right? Yeah, you're busy, I'm fine. Hearing this, Caleb hung up the phone with relief and turned to hug Lila at the door of the hospital room. It's okay, this kidney is a really good source. Arya carefully prepared it from abroad. Lila's eyes were red. I know, but I'm just scared. Caleb patted her hair with concern and said, Lila, trust me, Auntie will definitely be okay. There's absolutely no problem with this kidney. Even as he said this, Caleb felt a faint unease in his heart. On my side, the celebratory cannons roared, while on Caleb's side, there were cries of despair. Brother Caleb, didn't you say this was a top-quality kidney? Why is there a rejection reaction? Caleb was panicked and afraid. He glared at the doctor and said, Is this your fault? Aren't you a proper and excellent doctor? Are you connected? Lila cried her heart out, and the doctor calmly replied, Mr. Caleb, I have a bachelor's and master's degree from Peking University. You can check. A good kidney source isn't a cure-all, it has to be compatible. I had my assistant remind you about that before. Lila watched her mother struggle on the edge of life and death, her face contorted. Did Caleb G tamper with things behind Aria's back? Did she not want to give me this kidney source? The doctor said responsibly, Miss Lila, that's impossible. Our hospital receives kidney sources through proper channels. Shut up. Lila roared, then grabbed Caleb and said, Caleb G, call Aria and ask what's going on. How did she find a kidney source? Why is her mother perfectly fine? Caleb obediently took out his phone and called me. I didn't answer several times. I leisurely returned the call only after finishing the photo shoot for the castle wedding dress with the masked male model, and editing a beautiful post for Moments. What's up, Caleb? The wedding went perfectly, no one suspected anything. Caleb shouted anxiously. Aria, I'm not talking about that. I want to ask about the kidney source. The kidney source you found has problems. I'm taking a bath, and wearing a wedding dress all day is exhausting. Hearing this, I was surprised. How could it be? The kidney source is very good. My mother hasn't had any rejection symptoms. Then, I sent Caleb the wedding video. Caleb clicked it open. Solemn and joyful foreign music started. And I slowly appeared in a beautiful wedding dress. A handsome masked man smiled and took my hand, and amidst the cheers and congratulations from the guests, he gave me a kiss through the mask. Caleb froze, shouting into the phone. Aria, are you crazy? I only asked you to find someone to appease the guests, not to get all lovey-dovey and cuckold me. I chuckled lightly, my tone languid. Caleb, don't speak so harshly. Caleb said in disbelief. Aria, what do you mean? A wedding is the most important moment in a person's life. Can't you tell what's more important? You're just trying to upset me by putting on such a promiscuous act? Hearing this, I retorted. Upset? You stole the kidney source my mother urgently needed and gave it to Lila without informing me. Am I not upset? Hearing my rebuttal, Caleb's scalp tightened. This kidney source isn't anything rare. Didn't you find another one anyway? Lila used to be your best friend. Can't you just help out and do a good deed? I found it extremely laughable that I would use my mother's life-saving kidney source to do good deeds. Put away your pile of grand principles. I'm tired and we're over. I won't invite you to the wedding. Goodbye forever. I hung up the phone, got up to take a shower, and came out of the bathroom feeling refreshed. Caleb was extremely anxious, constantly calling my phone. Sadness spread through Caleb's heart. The taste of losing his love lingered. His body trembled incessantly. Now only Aria was in his mind. Caleb G, what do we do? What about my mother? Caleb G, say something. Make Aria come, make her save my mother. Lila kept shouting, tears and snot flowing together. Her beautiful face twisted into a form Caleb feared. Caleb felt a burst of irritability. He pushed Lila away. You were the one who insisted on getting the kidney source. Rejection is a physiological condition. What can Aria do if she comes? After saying that, Caleb left and returned home. Caleb's mother stepped forward. Son, what happened to your face during the day? Why were you wearing a mask? Caleb wanted to cry when he heard this. He had never heard Aria's disappointed tone. Nor had Aria ever rejected his calls. Max, the best man who felt something was strange during the day, came over and said, I told you not to do it, but you insisted. Aria is probably giving up on you this time. The kidney source concerns Aria's mother's life, and you just took it without discussing it with her. Now you can't blame her for giving up. Before, I passed by a shopping mall and saw someone with a back that looked a lot like you. I thought it was you, but it wasn't. She actually got married to someone today. I always thought it was you, thinking you were playing some fetish game. Caleb's father and Caleb's mother knew everything about me, and they became anxious when they heard this. Caleb, you have to go get Aria back. Caleb, what are you standing there like an idiot for? Quickly go find Aria and beg for forgiveness. Max suddenly thought of something and said, You quickly take Lila to find Aria. Explain that there's nothing between you and Lila, and you still have a chance to get Aria's forgiveness. Caleb seemed to be awakened, and he ran out like his life depended on it. Lila, who saw Caleb again, felt like she had found a savior. Caleb G, I knew you wouldn't abandon me. Lila, come with me. Come with me to explain to Arya that there's only brother-sister affection between us, not a single bit of love. We are completely innocent. Lila's face was filled with disbelief. The male model who completed the wedding with me is my senior from university. His name is Spencer, a top surgeon who completed his master's and doctoral degrees in school. He has always been a top figure in the school. I only had a superficial acquaintance with him. At the time, Spencer also had the reputation of being an unapproachable flower. I was only thinking about Caleb, so we didn't interact much. Last year, I met him after I broke my leg trying to save Caleb. He turned down many surgeries of big shots, dedicating himself to treating me. I didn't recognize him at the time. He came to see me when I was doing rehabilitation. Arya, long time no see. I was constantly anxious about the lack of kidney sources at the time, not paying attention to who he was, and my tone was indifferent. Doctor, have we met before? Spencer smiled softly, his eyes gentle. Arya, I'm Spencer. You snatched my bag in the library in college. Hearing this, I blushed immediately. At that time, I thought that bag was Caleb's. I didn't realize that Caleb had been subtly imitating Spencer's clothing style and lifestyle items. After that, I became familiar with Spencer. Rehabilitation was difficult and painful. I often lost my temper and was unhappy because of it. Every time this happened, Spencer would appear. He would pick up my crutches, hand them to me, wipe my sweat, and tell me that perseverance is victory. Don't worry, take your time, progress is the greatest happiness. At first, I thought he was being falsely polite and his attitude was cold. Later, Spencer took time out of his day to accompany me in my rehabilitation every day. He accepted all my complaints and negative emotions. He was always gentle and calm in the face of my impatience and pain. Slowly, I learned calmness from him. I began to seriously and persistently learn the key points of rehabilitation and persevere. One day, I said with a smile, Spencer, I think everyone was wrong to say you were an unapproachable flower in college. You're clearly a warm person. Hearing this, Spencer gently shook his head, gazing at me with deep affection. No, I do have a cold personality. My tenderness is only inclined to you. After saying that, he opened a book. Inside was the ginkgo leaf bookmark I had lost. When I was using it, I accidentally dropped it on the ground and stepped on it, so I threw it in the library trash can. I didn't expect Spencer to actually pick it up from the trash can. An indescribable emotion welled up in my heart. I never thought that I was worth Spencer's silent affection for so many years. I remember being devastated when I first broke my leg. Because I loved watching the sunrise, loved climbing mountains to see the sea of clouds. I cried all the time back then. I'm useless now. Spencer calmly treated the festering wound caused by my lack of care. You're not useless, you can still walk. Arya, actually during our freshman year when you accidentally got lost and fell, and then it started raining heavily, I was the one who rescued you. Unfortunately, after finding the main group, I was too exhausted to stay by your side. I was stunned. Back then I always thought Caleb was the one who saved me. Why didn't you say anything later? Spencer's expression was calm, his tone gentle. Because I knew you liked Caleb, and I wanted you to be happy. That sentence shook me to my core. I suddenly realized that there are different ways to love someone. I was too passionate, too self-forgetful. Caleb's was too superficial, too frivolous. Spencer's love was selfless, so good that he could sacrifice his own happiness. Spencer healed my bad moods, and I did have some different feelings for him. But the timing of our meeting wasn't right. I could only say, I'm getting married to Caleb. Spencer looked disappointed. Later, I sent him an invitation, and he accepted it. Arya, if you're happy with Caleb, I'll bless you. If you're miserable with him, I'll be waiting for you to come back. That day, after hearing Caleb's reckless words outside the door, I impulsively called Spencer. Can you do the perfect kidney transplant? If you can, let's elope. Spencer was a little flustered, as if stunned by my sudden words. The continued silence made me feel terrible. Forget it, I was just kidding, don't take it seriously. Just as I was about to hang up, Spencer spoke. Arya, you can't take back what you've said. I've been waiting for this moment for 7 or 8 years. You can't break your promise. Arya, wait for me to come pick you up. My original intention was to donate a kidney, using one of my own to give to my mother. Spencer didn't agree. He had already found a match for me. It's just that he initially thought I would use the one I found abroad. Waiting outside the operating room, my heart felt tight and numb, and I had difficulty breathing. I was afraid, I was really scared. In the past, my heart and eyes were full of Caleb, and I never truly cared for my mother. I was so afraid that she would just leave me like this. I was so afraid that I would never hear her call me Arya again. I was so afraid that I would never be able to eat her fried pork chops again. For a day and a night, I stayed up until my eyes were bloodshot. Thankfully, the surgery was successful. Spencer walked out with a hint of fatigue and told me personally, Auntie's surgery was a success. I couldn't support myself and fainted. When I woke up, Spencer was guarding my bedside. His gaze was so gentle that I felt enveloped in sunlight. You've been unconscious for 2 days. Auntie is doing well. There are no signs of rejection. I nodded with a smile. At that moment, I realized I no longer loved Caleb. Perhaps my heart had grown cold little by little as Caleb repeatedly abandoned and wronged me for Lila. It was just that I was used to loving him, used to being hurt, used to being tolerant, used to enduring. At this moment, I was sure that I liked Spencer. Spencer, I have a wedding planned long ago. I hope you will attend as the groom. Spencer smiled and hugged me, gently saying in my ear, it would be my honor. During the wedding, I actually didn't want him to wear a mask. Spencer said, you've been planning this wedding for 2 years. All of this is your hard work. There's no need to let unimportant people ruin it because of the groom's identity. His unspoken meaning was that he didn't want the guests to notice anything strange about the groom and spread rumors that would upset me. I nodded. Let's just treat this as a rehearsal. There will be an even better wedding in the future. When the priest solemnly announced that the groom could kiss the bride, through the cold mask, Spencer's breath permeated, and my heart was scorched. Arya, you used to chase a reflection in the water and were covered in wounds. Now you are my bride, let me chase you. I cried sincerely, tears falling one by one. Spencer, you don't need to chase me. I really like you now. It's not about gratitude, it's not about kindness, it's only about the love between us. Spencer's eyes were wet, and he gently hugged me. Spencer never thought that the girl he had glanced at countless times in his peripheral vision would actually marry him. At that time he wasn't so enlightened about love. He only knew that he liked to look at Arya, liked to care about her every little thing. He originally thought it was because Arya was excellent in her studies. Later he realized it was love. Unfortunately, she had Caleb by her side. The way she smiled at Caleb was as bright as the sun. That heartfelt happiness made Spencer smile along with her. Although Spencer felt that Caleb was always secretly imitating poorly, but because Caleb was the person Arya liked, he would downplay those ugly imitations. He even tolerated some minor provocations. He just didn't expect Caleb to not cherish Arya, turning Spencer's regret into joy. The moment he hugged Arya, Spencer solemnly swore in his heart he would love Arya with all his life and never let her down. Caleb, dragging a hysterical Lila, found Spencer and me while we were on vacation. Caleb looked haggard, staring intently at our intertwined hands. Arya, do you have no heart? We've been together for so many years, and you're just abandoning me like this. Arya, I only misappropriated one of your kidney sources. Arya's family couldn't possibly only have one kidney available. Why do you want to break up over this? Faced with Caleb's relentless questioning, I answered calmly. Caleb, the rift between us isn't just about a kidney source. The ice didn't form overnight. I accumulated enough disappointment to finally decide to leave. Caleb pointed at Spencer with jealousy and resentment. Spencer is just taking advantage of the situation. There's no feeling between you. He can't give you the excitement you want, and you won't fall in love with him. Arya, we've been together since college. I don't believe you can just sever so many years of feelings. Don't punish yourself and throw away your lifelong happiness on someone cold like Spencer just to get back at me. I looked at Caleb amusingly. Caleb, while I don't understand how you have the audacity to think I would marry someone randomly because of you, I want to tell you that in the past, you may have been all I thought about, but now, Spencer is all I think about. Caleb said angrily. That's impossible. How could you suddenly fall in love with someone else after we've been together for so long? Could it be that you've been colluding behind my back and cheating on me? I chuckled softly. Caleb, are you projecting? When we were together in the past, you were always worried about Lila, and your actions always favored Lila. Don't you find it funny and absurd? Okay, Caleb, I really don't have time to mess around with you anymore, and I don't want to keep growing up with you. The anger in Caleb's heart suddenly extinguished. He stared at me blankly, as if realizing that I really didn't love him anymore. All I felt towards him was fatigue and disgust. The next second, Caleb seemed to grasp at a straw. He said, "No, Arya, are you still bothered by Lila? Lila and I have known each other since we were little. I really treat her like a sister, Arya. You have to believe me." Lila, say something. Lila's face was filled with grievances and sadness, and her eyes were full of hatred. She was just about to speak when I interrupted. Caleb, I don't want to hear you or Lila explain whether your relationship is friendship or love. I only know that when I was sick and had a fever, you flew across the ocean to be with Lila. I only know that when I broke my leg and was in a slump, you were with Lila. I only know that you took my mother's life-saving kidney source for Lila. These real, tangible hurts can't be resolved by you saying you and Lila are just siblings. Nor can they be erased by you now begging for forgiveness with red eyes. The affection between us has long been exhausted by you. At this point, Caleb was already swaying. You have so many grievances. Why didn't you openly and honestly tell me so I could change? It's not fair. Your silent resentment is also irresponsible towards our relationship. Hearing this, I felt helpless. I said, "Didn't I say it? Do you remember the day I got angry because you were on the phone with Lila? What did you say? You said I was unreasonable, that I was suspicious, and that I was narrow-minded." Caleb was immediately speechless. I stared at him and said seriously, "I used to desperately hope to marry you, and I went around looking for a kidney source even with my leg broken. Do you know why?" Caleb's face turned pale, and he said as if sleepwalking, "Why?" "Because my mother didn't like you, but I liked you. I hoped to find a suitable kidney source in your name, so she would accept you." Tears streamed down Caleb's face immediately. After making everything clear, Spencer and I walked away hand in hand. Caleb watched my departing figure and cried loudly. He kept saying, "Arya, I'm sorry to you. Arya, I was confused. I was confused."